Good evening, or shall I say good afternoon. 2:32 p.m. on Monday. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in. If y'all read the caption, you'll see that I'm trying to look into the camera and then I'm looking other way because right now I've got Facebook over here and what's up, John? I've got Facebook over here and I've got my YouTube channel over here. Um, And I wanted to talk about a subject. I'm gonna let a few people get on here before I really get started, but I will just go ahead and announce this a couple of times as people are coming aboard. I I wanted to discuss about a topic that that's been on my mind here for the past couple of days, but mainly for the past couple of hours. I saw a comment on one of my posts that I put up. If you saw it, I put up a video. I put up a video clip from the podcast that I did with Randy Walker, and I discussed in that recent clip about drug usage and uh, the the disparaging problems within the black community back in the 60s, 70s, the 80s, the 90s with drug usage, drug selling, and things of that nature. And some of the people who commented discussed about the lack of black unification as well as hatred in the black community. So when a couple of people made comment on that, and then another young lady was like, she remembers instances in the past with people using drugs that she never used drugs herself, and she thanked God for not using drugs. It started giving me a pause. It started giving me a a mindset that I wanted to discuss and talk about some things. And particularly, there are two topics that I want to intertwine here and talk about. And I want you all to connect with me. I want you all to ask questions. I want you all to make statements. I want you all to come with information that you're knowledgeable of. If you want to join in on the live, you can send me a request, excuse me, and I will, whether it be on YouTube, whether it be on Facebook, and I will join you in and that way we can converse back and forth about it, uh, therefore. But I want to talk about black on black hate. Why there is so much black on black hate in our communities. Uh, and I also want to talk about racism. Why racism exists, why there's so much racism and hatred in this world, particularly from other races and I just don't want to limit it to blacks, and minority, but we have to tackle that elephant in the room that is there. I mean, when we see the stuff that's going on in this world that has been going on with this prison administration, excuse me, with this presidential administration and everything, I have to ask these questions. And I want y'all to understand something. This is not going to make everybody feel comfortable. This is to bring you out of your comfort zone. I want people to interact because the only way that we can solve these problems are to tackle them head on. We can't continue to just sit back all willy-nilly and not talk about these topics. That's why critical race theory is important in the schools. Our kids need to know about their history, good or bad. Our youth need to know. I believe before you can go forward, you need to know where you came from. Natty B, she said jealousy and envy is the main reason, my opinion. Yeah, and that is true. And that's what I want to talk about. That why? Why is there so much jealousy and envy and strife and anger and animosity and hatred amongst blacks in our world? Why? I mean, I don't have all the answers. And I'm sure everyone out here doesn't have all the answers, but we have some answers as a collective group of people. We have answers. And that's why I'm making this live, because I want answers. Whether your answers are right, whether your answers are wrong, we never know unless you talk and say what you believe the answers are. And everybody's got an opinion. Ones hate to see others having what they have or feel as though they can't get. That's true. Um, you know, I can't I have to know where it started, where it originated, why the hate is so strong. Um, one black man or a black woman can have their own business. They're starting their own business up, and others will come along, excuse me, and the first thing they'll say, a lot of them will say is, "Oh man, that you doing ain't gonna go nowhere." Instead of, "Hey man, can I do that?" Or sister, what can I do to help? We sit back and plot on what we can do to bring that person down. All because we don't want to see them prosper. But then we wonder why we don't have anything in our community, why we don't own any stores in our communities, um, why the Hispanics, the Asians, the Arabs, the Indians, the Pakistanians, the and whoever else own all the convenience stores in our communities, the gas stations, most of the restaurants. And that's not a knock on anybody that on that's of any nationality that I just named or origin. That's not a knock on them because I'm cool with Vic that owns the 12th Street neighborhood store right there on the corner of 12th and Maple. I'm cool with the brother. Uh, he's a good dude. He and I have collaborated together. The hate is within themselves most of the time. And yes, yes, I agree with you there, Natty. I agree. And I want to pin that because I want. Um, but we don't own any black gas stations. We don't own any black restaurants. Now, the only black restaurants that I could see that we own in the black community, there's only one right here on 12th Street. And correct me if I'm wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But that's Miss Ann's, the soul restaurant right there on the corner of 12th and Washington. Excuse me, 12th and Adams. That's the only black owned restaurant or business. That's the only black owned business on 12th Street, outside of a barbershop. We got a couple of barbershops that's black owned. But I'm talking about gas stations, convenience, grocery stores. Where are they? Why is there so much black on black crime in our communities? I had a wonderful, wonderful interview Saturday. Sergeant with the Pulaski County Sheriff's Rock Police Department for 28, almost 29 years before he retired and then went over to Pulaski County. But I interviewed him in his individual capacity as a community advocate. Now, he spoke so passionate about a great number of topics. He talked about his time with the police department, some issues with the police department. He also talked about things in the community with the program that he runs called the OK program, which is an acronym for Our Kids. It's a program that mentors and tutors and helps, excuse me, young African American boys and now girls between the ages of 14, I think, or 13. We're just going to say between the ages of 12 to 18. Uh, this who are still in school. And he works with these young talented kids to help them know themselves, find themselves, be better people, be productive in society, know what they want out of life, and not just be selfish. Let me read this comment over here on YouTube. I feel like the word Lady 35 says, I feel like the word hate is overused at times, especially these days. Just because someone disagrees or offers criticism doesn't mean they're hating. Sometimes people just can't handle the truth. And that is exactly That's correct. I agree with you on that. That makes good sense. Um, but in our community, we have to admit that it is hate. It is not just criticism. Um, when someone tells you that's not gonna work, man, you wasting your time. You man, doing it. That's not criticism. No, I disagree with you on that. That's hate. Um, when you got a business and yet someone is constantly, or people in their community is doing absolutely nothing positive. Someone else has that doesn't look like you, but they'll go over there to their business and won't come over here to yours because they will say out their own mouth, man, I ain't going over there to that nigga restaurant. Man, that nigga probably don't know how to cook that. The community. Let me say that again. The black dollar is the only dollar that does not circulate through its community. We will go out and take our money elsewhere. And that'd be said, it also depends on where it's coming from. Will it say hate can that might lead to thing? It is based now with it. Um, Delmark, I appreciate you for that. Hold on, hold on. Okay, hopefully, I apologize, Delmark. I've been having that issue. He said my audio is going in and out. Hopefully that clears it up with what I just did. Uh, but to touch on what you just saying, Willie, it's a defensive. It's basically a defensive emotion. Why is it a defensive emotion? Excuse me. Why should I be on the defense about another black man or black woman trying to do something positive? Whether it's start up their own business, whether it's uh, trying to do something positive in the community with mentoring, with tutoring. I've heard some people say, I don't know why you go over there and talk to them damn kids, and the kids can't be helped. Them damn kids can't be, you can't do nothing for them. They got to want it for themselves. Basically, you telling them they got to pull themselves up by their own bootstraps. Just because this brother over here is trying to do something positive, you're going to discourage him or her from trying to do something to help these young brothers or young sisters out here on the streets. I use myself as an example. When me and Cash first started doing the news thing, now I started it out before a little bit before he did. I was doing Marquez TV years ago, but I was talking about politics, religion, and sex and other things like that. Day to day topics. People didn't want to hear it. So Cash started doing Little Rock Hood News, and he started it off as something for a hobby, just doing stuff. So we were out here chasing the news, and I'm talking about stuff like 10 years ago. Um, and we were out here chasing crime scenes, videoing and everything. And when I tell y'all, and I want y'all to hang on to this when I tell you this, people were messaging us talking about, and this is just what they're saying, and I'm just going to say exactly the way they were saying it. Black people, not white people, black people. Man, y'all police ass niggas, y'all out here doing the white man's job. Y'all ain't nothing but police ass motherfuckers. Y'all this and y'all that, and all like we were being said that, we were being threatened. We're told that if they see us out in public, what they were gonna do to us, and all types of things. Doing something of a hobby, and we were not getting paid for it. We were doing what we wanted to do, having fun. We also started up a thing like Patty Mayo did. We called it Fugitive Recovery Agents. And if y'all go back in the archives and look at our videos, if you followed us this long, then you will see that we actually had bulletproof vests on. We were riding around in my Crown Vic, and we had it set up where we were talking with people that we knew, and we played like we were arresting them. Some people liked it. A lot of people hated it. Oh, y'all police ass niggas, y'all this, y'all that. I wouldn't dare be out there doing this and all like this and everything. Now, appreciate you for tuning in, Victor Baker. But now, let me tell y'all something. Anytime I pull up to a crime scene now, there are at least 5 people out there now with their damn cameras, with their phones videoing. And now everybody wants to be a content maker. Everybody wants to get in. Why? Because they started seeing that there's money in this. Cash started making damn good money. Excuse me. And he would tell the story. Was it last year? No, it wasn't 2024, 2022, I think it was 2022. He got one of his first big kicks from YouTube or Facebook. It was almost $40,000 in 1 month. Do y'all hear me? He made almost $40,000 in one check in 1 month. What he did was, with that first check, he helped every last single one of his homeboys with financial issues. And I was one of them. At that time, he and I were not talking. We had fell out. He contacted me. I had him blocked. He contacted me through another number and started talking to me, and I did not know who he was. Well, however, he gave me $1,000. And he explained to me about his content and where it had gone now, that his page had get monetized and all this. And he asked me, did I want to come along? He said he had been asking other homeboys to come aboard and record for him and do this and do that. They said that's police work. They said that's police work. I told him, yeah, I would join back. And let me tell y'all something. Me and him have been up and we've been down. But he's one guy that I can say that has helped me get to where I'm at today. I'll be back picking the kids up from school. Okay, Natty. Good. What you do? Shirley, thank you for saying that, because that's what I'm leading to right now. There are a lot of people out here now that tries to do this. And I want y'all to understand me. I want y'all to hear me and hear me very well when I say what I'm about to say. And this is not a knock on anyone. I encourage anyone to do this and try to be good at it. But it's some of y'all out there that need to sit y'all asses down and stay on your 9 to 5. I'm sorry, it just is. Whether you working at McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, Chipotle, Texas Roadhouse, whether you working at the church, whether you working in a black-owned restaurant, whether you shining shoes, whether you a nurse's aide, whether you working in a nursing home as a nurse or whatever. Some of y'all need to leave this alone. Some of y'all can't even hold a damn phone. Victor, Cash is a real stand-up guy. He is. I'm gonna tell you something. He has done a lot behind the scenes for a lot of people. He has. He has done a lot. So much to the point that a lot of people expect for him to just give and give and give and give. They might as well did it. They breaking a lot on the way for free. Ah, right, Shirley. One thing I learned about being around Cash is seeing him grow with this money. He bought him a house. He was able to get him a house. Um, he bought his girl three cars on 3 different occasions. Um, and he's done some good things. But one thing I noticed about him getting this money and this fame, it comes with a price. He has lost some friends because many have felt like he has gotten big headed with his money. Some may have wanted uh, some parts of his money and he wouldn't give it to them. So they have stopped messing with him. Excuse me. Let me tell y'all something. When you get to a point where you're starting to make this money, the type of money that Cash is making, People are going to hate on you. That's just, I've seen that with my own eyes. And it's going to happen to me. It's already started in some ways. There are people that don't like what I do. Because they can't do what I do. So that goes to what Willie Davis said, that it's an emotion. They are mad because they see me and Cash doing what we're doing, and we're connecting with the people that we're connecting with, and they can't. Let me explain something to y'all. I'm not going to give their names, but let me tell y'all something. There are people right now with the mainstream media, and I'm not saying this to toot my horn. There are people right now with the mainstream media that I talk with, that helps me to develop me, that I can call and talk to about something and get information. There are people in law enforcement that I can call, I can pick up that phone. Ain't about snitching, ain't looking for no information in the community. I'm talking about individuals who are assistant chiefs, public information officers, sergeants, lieutenants, captains, whatever, sheriff, whatever, with the Little Rock, Pulaski County, whatever. There are individuals with state police that Cash can talk to and everything, and get whatever information we need to get. And they ain't asking neither one of us to snitch on not nine Negro out here in these streets. Not a one. We don't have to snitch on you clowns. Because when y'all commit felonies, y'all go straight to social media and you put it there. So they gonna find out who the hell you are by your own admission. It don't have to come from me. It don't have to come from Cash. It don't have to come from nobody, no confidential informant out here in the streets or nothing. Because y'all are dumb and stupid enough to put it out there on social media. Now that's what goes to couple with what the young lady said about it's not criticism, it's constructive criticism. I'm not hating on you by a long shot. Do your thing. But just like that video where dude was rolling the weed and everything on live and the police busted up in his damn house, who he gonna blame? The white man? Who he gonna blame? The dude next door? No. How about you look at your damn self and you had the phone right there recording while you rolling up this perp and everything all on the weed and everything, and you was, yeah. And they saw you and they busted up in your house and they took your dumb ass to jail, right where you belong. Because I'm just gonna say it's some of these folks that belong in jail. I was one of them. And guess what? I went down and did 12, almost 13 years straight. And I got out and I got my life together. And I'm doing damn good in mine because it took me one time to go down and realize I need to straighten out my damn self. But there's a lot of y'all out here that don't know what accepting accountability means. A lot of you out here don't have the testicular fortitude to be honest with these clowns and tell them where they're messing up at because you're scared of them. And when I say you're scared of them, I'm talking about some of you parents in your own damn houses. Now let's be real about it. Your kids are really the parent. They're the ones running over y'all and telling y'all what the hell is going to be and what ain't going to be. Now, this was not the way that I was planning on going with this conversation. But it is what it is. Let me read some more of these questions. Why money, the yardstick everyone uses to measure success? Del Mark, it's I mean, money is not the success, but it helps. I mean, it helps you to get to a place that of comfortability, a nice home, um, business, um, a insurance, life, being able to have a life insurance policy where when you pass on, your family members don't have to go to Facebook for a GoFundMe page or take up donations, need to take up donations to bury you. That's along with health insurance, you're able to afford health insurance. So when you get sick, you can go to the hospital. That comes along with money. That comes along with success. Whether you want to believe it or not, it does. It has a lot to do with it. It does. Money is success. Whether you want to accept that or not, brother, it has a lot to do with it. It does. Moving right along, Vic says, "Big bro, I don't give a fuck if you gay or straight. Keep doing you, bro." Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, Real talk, bro. These fools crazy as hell. But I'm gonna tell you something. When you say they're crazy as hell, they are crazy. Um, yeah, Shirley, big bag of weed. That's what it was. I mean, it was big. Then he was sprinkling that perp on it. Um, Eyes was tangled all up and everything. Them eyes was going every which way, and then he was all in the camera like this. Um, that's just like Vic. That's just like if someone says, these kids losing their damn mind out here. Well, if they losing their mind, like Willie Davis said Saturday, it's my business, your business, and everybody else's business to help them find it. If you done lost your mind, where is it? We need to help you find it so you can get it back. That's I mean, and a lot of them out here crazy. This, look at it like this: we, as '70s babies, when we grew up, we had our ways about us that the generation before us didn't like. They said we were going to be failures. We done lost our minds and everything and so forth. So every 10 to 20 years, that next generation that comes in and about you, I became an old ass man, and I've gotten to a point where I'm so analytical and critical. But you know why I'm analytical and critical? Because I do care about the youth of today. Because the youth of today is our tomorrow. I want to be able to know insecurity. These young kids, 12, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, and when they get in their 30s, and I'm in my 70s or 80s, that if I need Social Security, that they're going to make sure that I can get my Social Security. If I'm in a nursing home, they're going to make sure that the people that's working in the nursing home are adequate, and they're going to make sure that I'm able to get what I'm able to get. If our veterans are out here, they're going to make sure that our veterans get the money and the resources and the care that they need to get before other countries across the world and take care of them. That's the problem that I have with this country and with this government. And not just particularly this government, I'm talking about all others, that we spend so many billions and trillions of dollars and we give in financial aid to other countries before we take care of our own veterans who have fought and died fighting for the civility of this country and the people within it. How in the hell can you say that you love your veterans, but you can't take care of them? There's no way that any veteran, that anybody that went over to a country and fought or even served in the United States military should go in lack at all. Point blank, period. There's no way. My daddy served in the Korean War. My brother Winston served honorably in Vietnam. My nephew served honorably in Desert Shield during the Clinton War era. So I come from a family who served our country honorably, and neither one of my family members have been discharged dishonorably. Delmark said, I agree. Excuse me, but it's like if you live here in the USA, you're forced to make money. You're forced to make money your God. You know, there's an old saying, Delmark, that money is the root of all evil. Money is what makes the world go round. Without money, you can't get the essentials. Without money, you can't pay your bills. Without money, you're going to be homeless. And don't use the excuse, well, I have family members, because if you got family members and you don't have money, they got to have some money. Money pays the mortgage and the rent. Money pays the car note. Money pays the insurance, auto insurance bill. Money pays the life insurance bill. When you die, money gonna have to be paid to the funeral folks to bury you. Money buys food. So what you saying, brother, that's not making any sense at all now. Money is world, and money and power. Money brings power to success. It just does. I mean, I don't know what world you living in, and your opinion matters. I mean, I welcome it, but I mean, maybe it's just me, but you're not making any sense. I mean, that's just my opinion. Now, that's not to criticize you, so don't get upset with me and cuss me out or go all off on me, because I'm not going to go up. I respect what you're saying, but I'm just not grasping it, and it's not making any sense with what you're saying, that people take money out of context and using it as if it's their God. I don't think they use it as if it's their God. They just need it to survive. Look at what's going on today. Gas prices are starting to go back up. Food prices are going up. A where last year, I believe it was $6 right here in Little Rock, Arkansas. 12 eggs. I can just go out and get me some damn chickens and put them in my backyard and let them up hatch and grow my own eggs, rather than going to the grocery store. You need money to survive. Money pays the bills. Money buys everything. It's plain and simple. If you if there's any other way that you can get everything in the world and don't need money, I'd like for you to point that out to me, Delmark. I would really love to know that. I just paid $8 for some eggs. See, I ain't paying no $8 for no damn for no 12 eggs. I will take them damn eggs and stick them some bitches in right up under my titties. I will put them right up under here before I pay $8 for some motherfucking eggs. Yeah, you can say he promotes this. You can say whatever you want to. I'm gonna put them right up under here. Is what I'm gonna do. I sure in the hell am. Yeah, that's too damn much. $8? That's right now. The other day I got some gas at 270. Now at two, think it was after 10-cent deduction, it was like 259. That's 2, 4, 6. That's roughly 3 gallons of gas. Yeah. So wrapping that part up, that first part, there's too much hatred in this world. If we spent if we spent more time, and I want y'all to hear me when I say this, if we spent the same amount of energy spreading love, spreading support to one another than we do hatred and non-support, imagine how far off we would be. Just think about that. Just think about that. If we spent the same amount of energy spreading love and support for one another that we do spreading hatred and non-support, think about how far off we would be. That's from black on black, black on white, white on white, white on black, black and white towards Hispanics or Latinos, Hispanics and Latinos to blacks and whites and every other race involved as well and nationalities. Imagine that. Just imagine that. How well off we would be. What do you mean the big cash is $30, Shirley? Now, I want to talk about the second part of this because I believe I beat that dead horse. We beat that dead horse long enough on why we believe there's so much hatred. Racism. Now, this is a topic, a touchy topic. Excuse me. Why do you believe, or let me start it off like this. Okay, I'll just ask you, why do you believe and where did it come from that there's so much hatred from other races, especially we just say a lot of the Caucasian race towards blacks. Now, I look at the situation that happened in Ohio, where the Nazis went to the black neighborhood, and those guys had on the black attire with red on it and had their flags. They had guns. They were in the back of a U-Haul truck. They got out. The police departments were protecting them. Why? Because it's their First Amendment constitutional right. But why they allow that racist group to come into the black neighborhood and incite a riot? Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. If the Black Panther Party was alive today, or the Nation of Islam were to get together and go to Beverly Hills to assert our First Amendment, to assert, I'm just saying, when I say our, I mean black people, to assert our First Amendment constitutional right to free speech, we probably wouldn't even make it halfway to Beverly Hills. And the police damn sure wouldn't be right along with us, protecting us while we're asserting our First Amendment constitutional right. See, I said from the beginning, this was going to be a touchy topic. This was going to be a sensitive topic. This is going to make some people feel uncomfortable. You're going to feel as though I'm spreading hate when I'm not. I'm spreading awareness. That's what I'm spreading, awareness. Now, some of you are not going to like it, and that's fine. You don't have to like it. Some of you will say, oh, yes, this is what we need to talk about. And some of those will be blacks and whites and other races. It's going to be mixed. But where did it come from that black people, indigenous people, Native Americans, and so forth, where did it come from that we began to start being disliked and hated? Why? What was the need? And where did it come from that we were labeled as monkeys? Um, and other racist names and epitaphs that I will not say on social media because it could possibly get me banned. Who was the first person that just decided that, hey, we don't like them dark-skinned people, so we're going to call them the N-word? We're going to start hating them. We're going to start beating them. We're going to use them for our greater good to build our country, build a country for us that we done took the land already from the indigenous people, from the Native Americans. So now that we done took this land, now we're going to bring these people over here and make them build for us. And we're going to inflict pain and injury to put the fear, of God in them to make them do what we want them to do. Now we're going to talk about a little bit of religion in here too, because this is going to tie it in here. I'm going to put this nice little bow on it. I believe it's in the book of Ephesians. You can look it up. I can't say it off the top of my head because I need my phone to. Hold on. Hold on. I can look it up. Hold on. What am I typing up? There we go. No, that ain't gonna be it. Okay, here we go. Ephesians 6, 5 through 9. Reading from the NIV version. Slaves, obey your earthly masters with respect and fear, and with sincerity of heart. Hold on. Now I want y'all to hang on to this part right here. Just as you would obey Christ, obey them, not only to win, and it went out, their hearts, I believe it says. Hold on. Hold on. See, a lot of people don't do this. A lot of preachers don't preach this. But I'm just gonna keep it 100. Our ancestors were brought over here on boats, and thrown over here to do slave work. Christianity was not our religion in Africa, but yet we were beaten and then told and given a Bible and told this is what you read and you go by. Certain parts of the Bible were taken out by a certain group of people. And we were told to read these words. And when I keep saying we, I mean me, I mean my people, my ancestors. The NIV version says, slaves, obey your earthly masters with respect and fear, with sincerity of heart. Excuse me, just as you would obey Christ. And do this not only to please them while they are watching, but as servants of Christ, doing the will of God from your heart. The New Living Translation says, slaves, obey your earthly masters with deep respect and fear. Serve them sincerely as you would serve Christ. The English Standard Version, bond servants, obey your earthly masters with fear and trembling. with a sincere heart as you would Christ. Berean Standard Bible. Slaves, obey your earthly masters with respect and fear and sincerity of heart, just as you would obey Christ. Berean Literal Bible. Slaves, obey the earthly masters with fear and trembling in sincerity of your heart as to Christ. Now, a lot of y'all black folks, and I'm just going to say it like it is, a lot of y'all black folks that are so Christianic are not going to approve of that. You're not going to like the fact that I read your Bible scripture to you. But you can get mad all you want to, but that is the word that is from the Holy Bible. And I want y'all to explain that to me. I've asked numerous pastors, bishops, and apostles to explain that to me and why I have not heard not one pastor preach that sermon or use that scripture in a sermon. What they will touch around is fathers, do not provoke your children to wrath, instead bring them up in the and instructions of the Lord, and then they'll stop right there. That's just verse 4. That's Ephesians 6 and 4. But we're not going to talk about 6 and 4. We're going to talk about 6 and 5 and 6. Let's talk about that. I see y'all that got quiet. I see y'all done left. I see a lot of you done left. Why? Why leave when I start talking about racism? Why it is? How did it originate? And then I tied the Bible, the Holy Bible, in there. This ain't the Quran. This ain't no Muslim teaching. No, this ain't no Muslim teaching. This ain't no hatred. This is from you Christians' Bible. This is from you Christians' Bible. Christians. Explain to me, all you holy rolling Bible thumping every Sunday morning churchgoers that believe in Christianity, how the book of Ephesians and the writer referred to our people, slaves, because that's what we were. Obey your earthly masters with respect and fear, with sincerity of heart, just as you would obey Christ. Now, to my understanding, Christ said, put no man before me, because he's a jealous God. But yet, his own words is saying, put the earthly master on the same level. And honor. Now, I'm confused as to why I'm not seeing any responses, especially from you church folks. Do I go to church? Yes, I do. Am I a member of a church? Yes, I am. But I want to know what you pastors think about when it comes to Ephesians 6, chapter 6, verses 5 and 6. That's what I want to know. I want to know while we're on the topic of racism and why it is, what started it, where did it come from, how it originated, and why the Holy Bible speaks in Ephesians chapter 6, verses obey thy earthly masters with sincerity and trembling of fear, just as they would Christ, in their presence and out of their presence. Explain that to me. I'm going to wait around. We've been here for an hour and 6 minutes. I'm going to wait for an hour and 10 minutes for somebody to give me an understanding to give me an explanation as to the meaning of it. And I'm going to type it in here. So, yeah, I'm going to give y'all a few minutes. And some of y'all, you got about 2 minutes and a half. Some of y'all won't explain it. You ain't going to explain it. Y'all going to skip over that comment. You can explain it off. I don't want you calling me trying to explain it over the phone. I want you to explain it on this live. If you are a true Christian and believer of Christ and everything that's in the Bible, I want you to explain to me Ephesians 6, 5, and 6. I want you to read it. I want you to get it in your spirit and ask God for an explanation so you can give me one so I can understand why he said and honor slaves, obey thy earthly master as you would Christ with sincerity and trembling of fear. Why? I have a hard time understanding that. I always have. And I'm going to continue to have a hard time understanding that. But all I do know is it's crickets in here. And ain't nobody else commenting. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Explain that, people. How about you have that same commitment that you got to the Holy Bible in Ephesians 6, 5, and 6 to your brothers and your sisters here on earth? Why don't you give that same commitment to each and every one here on face of this earth? Not just the earthly master, but give that same love and commitment to your brothers and your sisters here on earth? Why don't you do that? So, with that being said, I appreciate each and every one of you all for coming in. As always, it has been lovely. Y'all take care. And as I always say, God bless your hearts and all of your parts. Y'all be good now. You hear?